Hey y'all, gravity, any day above ground live it. Let's see what they talking about.
Part of the challenge of it, trying to reach out to this broader coalition, to reach out to the center, is the primaries haven't started yet. And if one of the things that he's rumored to believe is that abortion is a loser for Republicans, if he's
Donald Trump, in the midst of him losing his Jean Carroll case, decided I'm going to Manchester, New Hampshire to go talk and let people ask me questions. Lord, this may go left, but we here for it. We here for it.
Get triggered by some of this. I'm also curious, sort of from the special
Blacklight, hello. Let me know if you want to come up.
He is under investigation, credible investigation, federally, Georgia. He's gonna, I assume, be asked about those, and those, lawyers, those prosecutors are going to be listening. So I'm curious how he handles that.
I assume, Laura, you're going to be listening closely to how he responds to the legal challenges he's now facing.
Or if he chooses not to respond and tries to punt and says something like, well, my lawyer is telling me I can't talk about this, which frankly would not be satisfactory given the breadth of legal challenges against him. But I will say this, as a matter of a civics lesson, remember, the president is the head of the executive branch of government, which means their job is to enforce the laws. He has to address the fact that he has a number of legal claims that are either pending, indicted, or perhaps forthcoming. How does he convince any base, any potential party to make a broader tent that he could serve as the head of the executive branch to enforce the law and have all of these matters against him?
How does he deal with this latest legal disaster he faced yesterday?
Well, look, we saw he was defiant. So when he came out, so I certainly don't think he'll change his tune on that. But I can't imagine that he wants to dwell on that because politically speaking, it is a loser. Some of these other issues he's had have rallied his base around him. Some of his closest advisors that I've been talking to over the last couple of days, they do not think that this is a winner for him. So my guess is he is not going to try and dwell too much on that because this simply is not a winning issue for him. But of course, he'll be asked hard questions about this and so many other things. There's so many questions to talk to him about.
What's the most important thing you're going to be looking for?
The exits. No, some people have Trump fatigue. I have Trump Epstein Barr. The prospect of doing another 4 years of this really just, I'm looking for a way out. Is what I'm looking for.
And you hear that from voters a lot, the exhaustion out there about this. So, and sort of sick of the drama of him. So we'll see how much he brings of that.
You sick of the drama?
I don't even, I'm not even gonna go there. I am curious about two other things. How much does he try to hit Biden? How much does he try to hit other Republicans like DeSantis? And I'm also curious, words have consequences. We saw that on January 6th. I'm very curious to see whether, and I use the word measured in the broadest sense, but whether he is sort of stays away from that kind of language.
An important night here in the United States. We're watching it very, very closely. And to our viewers, thanks very much for joining us. CNN's Republican Presidential Town Hall with Donald Trump starts right now.
Wolf Blitzer needs to go to sleep.
Good evening. Welcome to New Hampshire, the first GOP primary state. We're live here at St. Anselm College for CNN's Town Hall with former President Donald Trump. I'm Caitlin Collins. Tonight, President Trump is here as he embarks on a campaign unlike any other in the history of U.S. presidential elections. He's the first former president in more than a century to seek a return to the White House, and he is currently leading the Republican field while also facing multiple criminal investigations and an indictment. Just yesterday, he was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation. No questions are off the table, and we agreed to no conditions. We're here to get voters the answers that they deserve. Our audience is made up of Republicans and undeclared voters who plan to take part in New Hampshire's Republican primary. They'll get the chance to question the former president directly. These voters and the issues that they care about the most will help decide if former President Trump will get a second chance to take on President Joe Biden. Please welcome the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, former President Donald Trump. President Trump, thank you for your time
Thank
here
you.
tonight. We got a great crowd here in New Hampshire, a lot of voters with a lot of questions about what your 2024 term would look like, what another Trump term would look like. We'll get to the voters shortly, but your poll showed that you were dominating the Republican race right now, but you were also under active federal investigation for trying to overturn the 2020 election results. Your first term ended with a deadly riot at the Capitol, and you still have not publicly acknowledged the 2020 election results. Why should Americans put you back in the White House?
Because we did fantastically. We got 12 million more votes than we had in, as you know, in 2016. I actually say we did far better in that election. Got the most that anybody's ever gotten as a sitting president of the United States. I think that when you look at that result and when you look at what happened during that election, unless you're a very stupid person, you see what happens. A lot of the people in this audience, and maybe a couple that don't, but most people understand what happened. That was a rigged election, and it's a shame that we had to go through it. It's very bad for our country. All over the world, they looked at it, and they saw exactly what everyone else saw. You look, even if you just look recently with the 51 intelligence agents, that made a 16-point difference. If you look at the FBI, if you look at the FBI and Twitter, they call it Twitter files, made a big difference. If you look at
Mr.
Through the
President, back
vote-
to what you just said there, though, it was not a rigged election. It was not a stolen election. You and your supporters lost more than 60 court cases on the election. It's been nearly 2.5 years. Can you publicly acknowledge that you did lose the 2020 election?
Let me just go on. If you look at True the Vote, they found millions of votes on camera, on government cameras, where they were stuffing ballot boxes. So with all of that, I think it's a shame that what happened. I think it's a very sad thing for our country. I think it's a very sad thing, frankly, for the world, because if you look at what's gone to our country has gone to hell. Our borders are bad. Our military has been bad. You look at the taxes, you look at inflation, what's happened to inflation, it's just destroying our country. We've really become, in many ways, a third world country. And it's very sad what's happened in this administration. And it's something that will turn around on day one. We were energy independent. Now energy is at a level that we've never had to pay before. Nobody can afford to continue to pay what's happening with energy. But we were energy independent. We were getting out of Afghanistan with strength and with dignity. And instead we got out, we looked like fools. Probably the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
We have a lot of questions about the economy and foreign policy tonight, but what you just said there, Republican officials debunked those claims about fraudulent ballots. We want to give you a chance tonight.
Who?
Republican officials in Georgia and every single state. There is no, your own election officials, Mr. President. So we wanted to give you a chance.
Be nice. Let's be
We have a big
nice.
problem in this country. We have
We wanted to give you a chance
elections.
to
We have
acknowledge the
elections
results.
that were horrible. If you look at what happened in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, if you look at what happened in Detroit, Michigan, if you
He's
look at what
standing on
happened in
it,
Atlanta,
family. He's standing on
millions
it.
of votes. And all you have to do is take a look at government cameras. You'll see them. People going to 28 different voting booths to vote, to put in 7 ballots apiece.
But
I mean,
Mr.
and
President,
they're all
I
on
have to
camera.
stop you there because there is no evidence of that. Your own election officials testified to that and have said that Republicans in these states did this. In Georgia, there were multiple recounts, including a hand recount. We have questions about the claims that you're making tonight from voters on this topic. I want to bring in Scott Dustin from Concord. He works in insurance litigation. He's an undeclared voter. That's what they call independents here in New Hampshire, as you know. He did vote for you in 2020. Scott, what's your question for the president?
Hi, President
Scott.
Trump. Welcome back to New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud during your run for president?
Will I suspend, excuse me, what?
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud during your run for president?
Yeah, unless I see election fraud. If I see election fraud, I think I have an obligation to say it. And you know what we went through a short while ago has really put our country in a big problem. I hope to do that. I hope we're going to have very honest elections. We should have voter ID. We should have one-day elections. We should have paper ballots instead of these mail-in votes. But the answer is yes, and I hope that it's going to be very straight up, because if it's going to be straight up, we're going to win the election.
So you will suspend talk to his question about
no
the 2020
problem.
election on the campaign
Well,
trail?
I guess we're going to just win. We're at a point now. We're getting so close. Let's just win it again and straighten out our country.
One other question on this.
Is this your game?
When you've talked talked about the 2020 election results in the past. You once suggested terminating the Constitution. Do you stand by those comments?
No. You were able to do certain things. I'm not talking about terminating the Constitution. I'm talking about cherishing the Constitution. The Constitution says that we're supposed to have legal and well maintained and well looked at elections. And we didn't have that. I cherish our Constitution, but we have to live up to the Constitution. We weren't living up to the Constitution.
I was just saying there's no evidence of that election fraud. You did once
You're
tweet.
supposed to say that, but I'm glad you say that. But look,
That's
that
the
was a
truth, Mr.
horrible
President.
election. That was a horrible election. And unless somebody's very stupid, and I know you very well, you're not stupid at all, but you perhaps are given an agenda or you have an agenda. Look, we have to have honest elections in our country. We have open borders. We have.
Hello, you seen me.
You look at what's happening. I mean, we have elections. We have open borders. Look at what's happening on our southern border. Millions and millions of people are coming in. They're being released from prisons. They're being released from mental institutions.
We don't
And
have
we
any mental
millions
institutions
of people
sir,
pouring into our country.
like
And
that.
now they're getting rid of Title 42, which I put on, which kept people out that were sick. And
Mr.
had
President, we have a lot of
problems.
questions about immigration to get to tonight. Obviously, that's a big topic, especially given what's expected to happen tomorrow. But I want to talk about the influence you have over your voters. It's very clear that you are very influential over them. You have a lot of impact. I've been to many of your rallies and seen it up close, which raised a lot of questions about the influence that we saw that you had on them on January 6th and your supporters when they attacked the Capitol. Do you have any regrets about your actions on January 6th?
He's going to say it. Watch.
Well, January 6th was, again, we go back to it, but January 6th had to do with the fact that hundreds of thousands of people, and you don't see the pictures very often. A lot of the people here probably were there. January 6th, it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken to. That was prior to the walk down to the Capitol building. I don't think.
Dominique Valenzuela, this is how I
hundreds
do
of
my show.
thousands
If you
of
don't
people.
like
I've
it, you
never
can go
spoken
to
to a crowd as large as
CNN's
this.
coverage.
And that was because they thought the election was rigged. And they were there
I
proud.
do.
They were there with love in their
You
heart.
seem new.
That
You seem new, sir. You seem new.
day.
So this how we
And
gonna do
what I
this.
was asked to do.
I
wasn't
do this with
involved in it
my
very
show.
much. I was asked to
You
come in
don't
and
like
make
it?
a
Go
speech.
to
I made a
CNN's
speech.
coverage
I said, walk
and watch it
peacefully
straight
and
there. It's
patriotically,
okay.
Many different things. In fact,
You're not
I
finna
brought a
tell
list
me
of
how to do
things. I
my
don't wanna
show.
bore the audience, but we
You
can
put
go
nothing
sentence
on my
after sentence
books.
after sentence
You're new.
of things I said and things
I don't
put
tell you
out.
how to run your
One of the big
life.
problems was that Nancy
So
Pelosi,
there's
Crazy
your
Nancy,
two
as I
choices. Either
affectionately
stay
call her,
and deal
Crazy
with the
Nancy
noises,
Pelosi and the mayor
or
of
you
Washington were in
leave.
charge, as you know, of security. And they
They're
did
Thank
not
you
not
even
so
do their
much.
job.
National Guard.
And I pray
They are
you
in- well,
have
I offered them National Guard. I
much
said, we'll give you
success
soldiers,
in
we'll
your
give you National
life.
Guard, we'll
Now
give you
back to
whatever you
Trump.
want. And they turned me down.
You're
And in
acting
fact,
Don't
she
make me
turned
mad.
She turned me down in writing. They turned me down.
But your acting defense secretary, Chris Miller, at the time, he says you never gave a formal order to deploy the National Guard. But when it came
Excuse
to
me,
that day,
just the opposite.
he
Chris
test-
Miller wrote a book, and he's a fantastic guy, and he was ready to go. They turned him down. If you look, the mayor of Washington, D.C., lovely lady, she said, we don't want it. We don't like the look. Nancy Pelosi said, oh, we don't like the look. If they would have had I offered them 10,000 soldiers. I said,
that is
it
true.
could be 10, it could be more, but I offered them specifically 10,000 soldiers. If they would have taken 500 soldiers, you wouldn't have had the problem. They turned it down. And if you look at the Inspector General report, he says they turned it down. They made a terrible mistake.
well, Chris Miller was your acting defense secretary. He says you never gave that order. But back to what happened on that day.
He
You said
did
you
not
weren't.
say that.
He has testified that, Mr.
He did
President.
not say that.
But you said you weren't very involved that day. You did tell your supporters to come to Washington. You tweeted about it, about
Sure,
that
of
speech
course.
that happened on the rally.
Am I
So
allowed
when
to say that?
when they went to the Capitol and they were breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers, why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out.
Wait a minute. He brought receipts? Wait a minute. He brought receipts. Oh, this finna get good. Look at all them white people. He
So
brought
when you look at-
receipts.
On January 5th, the day before, I said, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. Stay peaceful. This was the day before, and this was in the form of Twitter. Now use Truth Social. I think it's far superior.
Okay,
I hope
he's the game.
everybody's on
He's the game.
I hope everybody's on Truth. If you look January 6th, it's at
Sir, pay
before
me
2:30.
over $20 and I
am
will
asking
never
for
play
everyone at the
another
U.S. Capitol to remain
through this
peaceful.
whole
This
thing.
is right
$20.
after as it was happening. But
Super
what
chat
happened is
button is right at the
they
bottom.
took it
$20. I won't
down.
play it.
I don't know why. I think they took it down because it was so good. They didn't like it being up there. I am asking, this is, and we didn't know until I got it back, because now I have 90 million people waiting for me to go back, but I'm on truth and I'm staying on truth. Listen, I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violation. We want no violation. We want no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. That was at 2:30. That was very early.
Mr. President, I looked at the same timeline that you did.
No, I
Once
know,
it was
but you
clear,
didn't report that. You know why? Because it was
we did
taken
report it.
down.
I was
It
reporting
was
that
taken
tape.
down and it wasn't.
But when
put
it was
back up.
clear to
Jumps
you
over here talking
that
about-
they were not being peaceful, you saw them breaking the Capitol, breaking windows, they were hitting officers with flagpoles, tasing them, beating them up. When it was clear they weren't being peaceful, why did you wait 3 hours to tell them to leave the Capitol? They listened to you
Yeah.
like no one else. You know that.
They do. I agree with that. But
So why didn't
Nancy
you tell them to go home
Pelosi,
sooner?
Nancy Pelosi and the mayor are in charge. I assume they were able to do their job. They weren't.
But
And it
Pelosi's
kicked
not in
in.
charge of
And
Capitol.
if you remember, I made a video right outside the Oval Office in the Rose Garden. And I'm very proud of that video. I didn't have a script. I don't need scripts like a certain person that's in
But
there
what
right
time,
now.
the video?
Damn.
Much later after they had already attacked the Capitol.
Damn.
It was a great video. And
This
it
is
was a
great.
beautiful video. And it said, I mean, I don't want to read it all, but you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people of law and order. We love the people of law and order. We can't play into the hands of these other people. We have to have peace. Please go home. Now,
Well,
I said that.
referring
You know
to
what
the
they
law and
did?
order there,
They took
Mr.
that
President.
down. And you know, to this day, it hasn't been put up. And the reason is it's so good and so conclusive that all of this
Dominique,
nonsense and all
you
of the
you're
tens of
about
millions
one
of
message
dollars that have been
away
spent are
from
just
being
wiped away with
sniped.
this one. And they've
Now,
never put it back up.
contribute
They
to
had
the
another one that did the
conversation
same.
or
That video
leave.
that you referenced
That's your
there, it wasn't
last
posted
warning.
until 4:17
We're
p.m.
being really nice,
They
not
went to the
blocking
Capitol
you.
at 2 p.m.
That video was
Mr.
You
posted.
can go on Rumble and listen to Steven Crowder talk
4:17
Yeah,
p.m.
before
Or you
that.
could be
Actually, a little bit
quiet
before that.
Right. So
here
that's my
and
question.
listen,
In that
or
3 hours, over
Excuse me.
140
it was
engage
posted
in
after the
dialogue
first one,
in my
I showed that,
jokes.
And that was at 2 o'clock.
But I think the
So
reason
you have
the
three
Capitol
choices
was
now.
part of
We're a
the deal
democracy
is
over here.
Going back to your influence.
Thank you so
in
much.
that
Another
3
one I
hours,
posted.
over 140
Share, like, and
officers
subscribe.
were injured that day.
And a person named Ashley Babbitt was killed.
Yes.
You know what? She was killed, and she shouldn't have been
Uh-huh.
killed. And that thug that killed her, there was no reason to shoot her. At blank range, cold blank range, he shot her. And
Ooh,
she
you
was a
gonna
good
get in trouble
person.
for
She
that,
was a
bruh.
patriot.
One
There was
person
no
who was
reason.
there,
There was no reason. And he went on television to brag about the fact that he killed her.
the officer was not bragging about the fact that he
Oh,
killed
he
her,
was
but
bragging.
one person who was at
That's
the
what
Capitol that day,
StreamYard
as you
does.
know, was your
I can
Vice
put up your
President, Mike
messages
Pence, who says
anytime
that
I
you
want.
endangered his life on that day.
I don't
Do
think
you
he was in
feel,
any danger.
Mr. President, do you feel that you
Look,
owe him
look,
an apology?
what?
No,
Watch,
because he
watch
did
what can I
something
do?
wrong. He should have put the votes back
Look,
to the state legislatures,
can
and
do
I think
that.
we would have had a different outcome. I really do.
But he doesn't have the authority to do that, as you know.
What?
The Vice President does not have the authority to
Okay,
reject
are you
those,
ready? Let's
those
have this
election
one out.
Oh, we're
Just
calling
because it's
thugs. Wait,
Let's
let
keep
me
it
go to.
interesting, right?
Let me go to
I
my.
like
You're
Mike
calling
Pence
people
very much.
thugs,
He's a very
Dominic.
fine
Don't
man.
do
He's
it.
a very nice man. He made a
Oh, that was
mistake.
Trump.
His
Never
lawyer
mind.
said,
I am sorry,
you
Dominique.
cannot move. I called him the human conveyor belt. I said, even if the votes, I talked to his lawyer, even if the votes are absolutely fraudulent, he can't say, yes, sir, he can't send back. And the Democrats played it and the rhinos played it. And then the election was over. They told him he couldn't do it. And Mike said to me, I can't do it. The lawyers told me he can't do it. They can't do it. But the lawyers were wrong, because right after the election, they all met, the rhinos and the Democrats, and they worked out a plan
I might
to
have
make
to get on
sure that
camera.
future vice presidents don't do what I said you could do.
That's not what happened. You're referring to the Electoral Count Act.
That's
I've read that. There is no authority.
No,
Legal
excuse
experts,
me.
including Republican legal experts, say that he does not have that authority, Mr. President.
Caitlin,
But I want
why
to
did
move
they
on.
change
Uh-oh.
the law then, saying
You
that
get
can't
Trump
do it?
mad.
They
Here
didn't
we
change
go.
the law. They strengthened the law because they were worried about
Oh, they
presidents
strengthened it,
exploding.
meaning you could do it. Thank you.
That's not what it means.
Thank you.
They strengthened the law
Mike
because
had
they
the
were
right
worried.
to do it. they
Dominique, we're not
convinced him he
joking
didn't,
over
and it was a
here.
horrible thing for our
I
country.
determine when
If
we
you would have
joke.
sent those votes back to Georgia, Pennsylvania, and other states, Wisconsin, which if you look at Wisconsin, they virtually admitted now that the election was rigged. If
They
you
have
would have
not
sent
admitted
those
that, Mr.
votes back to
President.
many of those states, they would not come back in the affirmative. And remember what I said, and you just said it pretty much. You admitted what I said was right.
I
They
did
said
not.
he didn't have the right to do it. And he did have the right to do it. And that's why they changed the law, taking that right away.
I should note that your campaign paid for a recount that happened in Wisconsin. It actually had more votes for President Biden by the end of it. But I want to move on to Wayne Beyer. He's a retired attorney from North
You don't want to
Carolina.
be there no
many
more.
illegal votes were cast in Wisconsin. And if you look in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they had so many illegal votes, they didn't even know what to do with them. You're absolutely wrong
Mr.
about
President,
that.
there weren't any fraudulent votes in Wisconsin. I do want to get to the audience, though. We have questions for you from the audience. Wayne Beyer is a retired attorney from North Conway. He has previously served in Republican administrations. He volunteered for the Republican Party in the 2022 midterms. He voted for you in 2020. What's your question for the president, Wayne?
Thank you for coming, Mr. President.
Thank you, Wayne.
My question to you is, will you pardon the January 6 rioters who were convicted of
Listen.
federal offenses?
I am inclined to pardon many of them. I can't say for every single one because a couple of them probably they got out of control. But, you know, when you look at Antifa, what they've done to Portland, and if you look at Antifa, look at what they've done to Minneapolis and so many other places. Look at what they did to Seattle and BLM. Many people were killed. These people, I'm not trying to justify anything. But you have two standards of justice in this country. And what they've done, and I love that question, because what they've done to so many people is nothing. And then what they've done to these people, they've persecuted these people. And yeah, my answer is I am most likely, if I get
Snipe
in, I will
means
most
we block
likely-
you, sir.
I would say it will be a large portion of them. You know, they did a very, and it'll be very early on.
And folks, don't white people off their mind.
In hell. And they're policemen, and they're firemen, and they're soldiers, and they're carpenters and electricians.
Please
and they're
chill
great
then.
people. Many of them are just great people.
Mr. President, one of the people who was convicted was a former policeman, but he was convicted of attacking a police officer, I should note. But when you said you are considering pardoning a large portion of those charged with crimes on January 6th, does that include the 4 Proud Boys members who were charged
Here we
and
go.
convicted of seditious conspiracy?
I don't know. I'd have to look at their case, but I will say in Washington, D.C., you cannot get a fair trial. You cannot. Just like in New York City, you can't get a fair trial.
He didn't say no, and he didn't say
About a
yes.
significant verdict that was reached yesterday. I know this is something you want to weigh in on as well. A Manhattan jury found that
Sure.
you sexually abused the writer E. Jean Carroll and defamed her. You've denied this, but what do
Here
you
we
say
go.
to voters who say it disqualifies you from being president?
Well, there aren't too many of them because my poll numbers just came out. They went up. I think I'm the only person in history who had a charge like that. And usually you leave office, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm going back home. I'm back home to my family and everything. I'm going to be resigned. My poll numbers went up, and they went up with the other fake charge too.
Greg
Because
Allen,
what's
hello.
happening is they're doing this for election interference. This woman, I don't know her. I never met her. I have no idea who she is. I had a picture taken years ago with her and her husband, nice guy, John Johnson. He was a newscaster.
How the hell
very
you say you
nice
don't know her,
man.
but you know her
She called
husband?
him an ape. Happens to be African American.
What?
Called him an ape. The judge wouldn't allow us to put that in. Her dog,
What the
or
hell?
her cat, was named Vagina. The judge wouldn't allow
What
us
did
to
he
put
just
that
say?
in. All of these things. But with her, they can put in anything. Access
This
Hollywood.
was a
put in
jury of
anything.
9 people who found
right.
you liable of sexual abuse. Do you think that will deter women
He's
from
just
voting
said
for you?
8.
No, I don't think so, because I think the whole thing, just so you understand, ready? I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into other than for a couple of charities. I met her in the front door. She was about 60 years old, and this is like 22, 23 years ago. I met her in the front door of Bergdorf Goodman. I was immediately attracted to her, and she was immediately attracted to me. And we had this great chemistry. We're walking into a crowded department store. We had this great chemistry. And a few minutes later, we end up in a room, a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, right near the cash register.
What is he talking
And then she
about?
found out there were locks on the door. So she said, I found one that was open. She found one. She learned this at trial. She found one that was open. What kind of a woman meets somebody and brings them up, and within minutes, you're playing hanky-panky in a dressing room, okay? I don't know if she was married then or not. John Johnson, I feel sorry for you, John Johnson.
Mr. President, can I
No, but
add to
think
this?
of it. Think of
I
it.
know you're
Trump
recounting
all
this
here
story, but
talking
Mr.
about.
One more thing. Bye-bye, bitch.
I own the Plaza Hotel right next door, and I own buildings around it. I'm not going into a dressing room of a crowded department store. Then I say, if she was being raped, and by the way, they said she wasn't raped. Okay, that was her charge. It wasn't.
They found that you sexually abused her.
No, what? Say what? They did. They said he didn't rape her, and
They did
I
not
didn't
say
do
that you
anything else either. You know what? Because I have no idea who the hell she is.
But Mr.
I don't know who this
President,
woman
can I
is.
ask you, given you're recounting
I
your
don't know
version?
who, and I tell you this.
But Mr.
Are
President,
you ready?
can I
And I
can
swear
ask
on
you
my
because
children, which I'd never do. I have no idea who this woman.
Ooh.
This is a fake story, made up story. We had a horrible. This result was horrible. He allowed her to put everything in. He allowed us to put nothing in.
Mr.
This is
President,
a
you're
fake
recounting your version of
story.
events here right now to the audience. You referenced the trial. You did not go to the trial and actually
That's right.
testify. Do you wish that you had
That's some
No,
testified?
it wouldn't have
gangster
made a
shit.
difference. This was a rigged deal. This was my lawyer said, sir, you don't have to do it. I actually said, I think I should. It would be respectful. They said, sir, don't do it. This is a fake story and you don't want to give it credibility.
One
That's
thing
why
you-
I didn't go.
One thing you did do in this.
And I swear, and I've never done that. And I swear to, I have no idea who the hell, she's a
Mr.
whack
President,
job.
you did not testify in person in this trial. There was a taped deposition of
Who
you from
mans is
October. And
this?
you defended the comments that you made on that Access Hollywood tape about being able to grab women. How
Oh my
you
God,
want.
you bring it up
Do
something
you
7
stand by
years
those
ago. Here we go.
comments?
I said, if you're famous and rich or whatever I said, but I said, if you're a star, you are, and I said, women let you. I didn't say you grab. I said, women let. You know, you didn't use that word, but if you look, women let you. Now, they said, will you take that back? I said, look, for a million years, this is the way it's been.
Damn.
I want to be honest.
He
This
just
is
went
the way
after
it's
women
been.
now.
I
Oh,
can
this
take
gonna
it
be
back if you'd
fun.
like to, but if you're a famous person, if you're a star, and I'm not referring to myself, I'm saying people that are famous, people that are
You were asked
stars,
in the deposition,
people
do you
that are
consider
rich,
yourself to be a star?
people
and you
that are
said yes.
powerful, they tend to do pretty well in a lot of different ways, okay? And
Trump is
you
like this.
would like me to take that back? I can't take it back because it happens to be true. I said it's been true for 1 million.
So you stand by those comments?
Well, I don't want to lie. Oh,
Mr. President, we have
here's
a lot
what
of
here's what
questions.
she wants
Mr.
me to say.
President, let's
A
get to
rich
the
and
audience
famous
questions
person
tonight.
has no advantage over anyone else. Well, you do have an advantage. And I say unfortunately, but that's the way it is.
You said fortunately or unfortunately, but Mr.
fortunately or
President, we have a lot of
unfortunately for
audience
her.
questions to get to tonight. I want to go back to the audience. We've got Danielle Rieger. She works as an oral surgery assistant. She's a Republican activist from Derry. She was a New Hampshire delegate for you in 2020. What's your question?
Hi, thank you so much for coming to New Hampshire
Thank
to
you.
answer our questions. My question is regarding the economy. Over the past 2 years, we have seen the prices for everything skyrocket. From food to gas to utilities and insurance costs, many people's bills are up several $100s a month, including mine. If elected president again, what is the first thing you would do to help bring down the cost to make things more affordable?
Drill, baby, drill. You know what that means. So we were energy independent. We were soon going to be energy dominant. And nobody had ever done what I did. We got oil down to $1.87. Actually, it fell lower than that in some cases. We had to save the oil companies. The price was getting so. We were doing incredibly. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country, probably the greatest economy in the history of the world. We were energy independent, soon to be energy dominant. We were going to be bigger than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together ×2. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation, And these stupid fools ended it. And energy went from $1.87 and even lower for gasoline, for a car. They went from $1.87 to $5, $6, $7, $8, and even $9. and your electricity bills went through the roof, your heating bills went through the roof. And that's what started inflation. And it hasn't stopped because people are paying now for bacon and for eggs and for the 2 and 3 times what it was just a little while ago. We created the greatest economy in history. A big part of that economy was got you the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan cuts, bigger than any. And also, Caitlin, also, as you know, we got the biggest regulation and regulatory cuts. This place was rocking, and then we were given a gift from China, and China paid a big price. And let me tell you something, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes from China, but prior to COVID coming in, and then I rebuilt the economy again, a second time. But we had, prior to COVID coming in as from China, from Wuhan, which I said it came from Wuhan. Everybody said, oh, you're wrong about that. You're wrong. It came from Wuhan. I said it right from day one. So we had the greatest economy in the world. Here's the story. They made energy so high, and energy is all invasive. It is massive as an industry and as a cost. It lifted everything. If
Mr.
you made,
President,
if you made donuts, if you made, no matter what you did, and we had inflation, the likes of which I guess we haven't had, they said, for 52 years, but I think more than that. We had no inflation. We had the lowest energy prices we've had in decades. This country was rocking and rolling. And by the way, we had the most secure border in the history of our country.
Mr. President, we have more questions on the economy. Make sure we get to all of those. As you know, the U.S. right now could be just 3 weeks away from defaulting on its debt. That could mean millions of jobs lost, people not getting their Social Security payments. People believe it would put the U.S. economy into a recession. On that topic, I want to bring in Marta Cervella, a student here at St. Anselm. She is an undeclared voter who did not vote in 2020. Marta, what's your question?
Hi, Mr. President.
Hi, thank you.
So my question is, what do you think about the United States' current debt situation, and how can we move forward?
Such an important question. So we're at $33 trillion, a number that nobody ever thought possible. When we had our economy rocking and rolling just prior to COVID coming in, like literally, we were making a fortune. And oil, we were going to make so much money from oil, we were going to start paying off debt. But then with COVID coming in, we had to do other things. We had to keep this country alive because it was so serious. But we have to get the country back. We have to lower energy prices. We have to lower interest rates. Interest rates are through the roof. Energy has to come down. It all has to come down, and we have to start paying off debt. But when we have a debt limit, and they use that very seriously in me, they came in, Schumer came in with Nancy Pelosi, and they were using it. We'll violate it. We'll do whatever. They talked a whole lot different than they do right now. I say to the Republicans out there, congressmen, senators, if they don't give you massive cuts, you're going to have to do a default. And I don't believe they're going to do a default because I think the Democrats will absolutely cave because you don't want to have that happen. But it's better than what we're doing right now because we're spending money like drunken sailors.
So just to be clear, Mr. President, you think the U.S. should default if the White House does not agree to the spending cuts Republicans are demanding?
Well, you might as well do it now because you'll do it later. Because we have to save this country. Our country is dying. Our country is being destroyed by stupid people, by very stupid people.
You once said that using the debt ceiling as a negotiating wedge just could not happen. You said that when you were in the Oval Office.
I was president.
So why is it different now that you're out of office?
Because now I'm not president.
The U.S. defaulting would be massively consequential for everyone in this room, for all Americans.
You don't know. It's psychological. It's really psychological more than anything else. And it could be very bad. It could be maybe nothing. Maybe you have a bad week or a bad day. But look, you have to cut your costs. We're spending $7 trillion on, much of it on nonsense. $7 trillion on nonsense.
We've got another question from a voter tonight.
Get all of that money that was wasted, and frankly, the Senate should have never approved it. Get all that money that was wasted, and if they don't get rid of that, you'll have to default. Okay?
Mr. President, we've got another voter here tonight.
And by the way, you're going to default eventually anyway, but it's going to be much messier. I don't think you'll have to default. I think if the Republicans hold strong and they say we want let's say we want $5 trillion off. I really think the Democrats have no choice but to do it. And if I win, They're going to be doing the same thing to me in 2
Yes,
years.
sir.
I guarantee
That
you
was
that.
her.
Mr.
They're
President,
going
we
to
got
play a
another
very
voter
hard
here
ball game,
tonight.
and they did that before.
Bobby Petrino has been waiting very patiently.
Sure.
He's a student at St. Anselm. He's a member of College
Oh,
Republicans.
Lord
He's an
have
undeclared
mercy.
voter right now. He supported you in 2020. Bobby, what's your question for President Trump?
Hi, thank you for coming. This is a bit of a pivot, but with gun violence and mass shootings in the news cycle recently, I'm worried that state governments and the federal government are going to act to repress gun rights. Under your administration, you instructed the Department of Justice and the ATF to ban bump stocks. If elected president again, how would you act not only to defend our Second Amendment rights, but to restore rights that have been taken from us, such as, by example, recently the ATF's ruling on the pistol stabilizing braces?
Yeah, as you know, the bump stocks are actually a very unimportant thing. And NRA, I went with them and they said it doesn't mean anything. Or actually, all they do is teach you how to shoot very inaccurately. So we did that. There's been nobody that's protected the Second Amendment, as you know, like I have. I protected it through thick and thin, not easy to do. But we have a very big mental health problem.
This fat son of a bitch
And
is gonna...
again, it's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's the person that pulls the trigger. And we have to protect our Second Amendment. We have to protect our Second Amendment.
Mr. President, you dealt with a lot of mass shootings when you were in office. This year, there have already been more than 200 mass shootings in 2023. If you are reelected, are there any new gun restrictions that you would sign into law?
I would do numerous things. For instance, schools, we would harden, very much harden. And I'm a very believer. I believe in teachers. I love teachers. I think they're incredible.
He's
They
gonna
love
say
the
it.
children, not quite like the parents, but they love the children in many cases almost as much. Many of these teachers are soldiers, ex-soldiers,
He's gonna say it.
ex-policemen. They're people that really understand weapons, and you don't need 5% of the teachers would be more than you could ever have if you're going to hire security guards. But in addition to that, have
He's gonna
security
say it.
guards. You have to harden your entrances. You have to make schools safe, and you can make other places safe. But it is a big mental health problem in this country more than anything else. And remember, we have 700 million guns, 700 million. Many people, if they don't have a gun, they're not going to be very safe. I mean, if they don't have a gun, it gives them security. Now, you need them for entertainment, you need them for hunting, you need them for a lot of different things. But there are people that if they didn't have the privilege of having a gun in some form, many of them would not be alive today. You know, there's a certain country that had a very strict policy on guns, very, very strict.
Which country?
And, Brazil, okay? Brazil, very strict. And the former president of Brazil, and the killing was incredible. They were walking into people's homes and killing people. They had no protection. He said, go out and buy guns. People went out and bought guns, and it went way down. The numbers went way down because they had security. If you look at Chicago, Chicago has
Here we
the
go.
toughest gun policies in the nation. They are so tough you can't breathe. New York too, and other places also. All of those places are the worst and most dangerous places.
So
that's
Is this your game?
that you would sign if reelected, Mr. President. I want you to meet Julie Miles, a registered nurse
Stop
from
bringing
Merrimack.
up
She's
Chicago.
a Republican who voted for you in 2020. Julie, what's your question for the president?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate you answering this question this evening. How do you plan to appeal to women voters in New Hampshire who are concerned about the Dobbs decision and how states may change their laws?
It's such a great question, and it was such a great victory, and people are starting to understand it now. You know that they wanted to bring it back to the states, but that was probably the least important part of that victory. Getting rid of Roe v. Wade was an incredible thing for pro-life because it gave pro-life something to negotiate with. Pro-life had absolutely nothing being stuck in Roe v. Wade to negotiate with. And now what's happening, you see it all over. Deals are being made, deals are going to be made. And look, everybody that was president wanted to get rid and tried to get rid of Roe v. Wade.
You mean
for 50
Republicans?
years. Republicans. For 50 years, this has been going on. Actually, a couple of Democrats too. But for 50 years, this has been going on. I was able to do it, and I was very honored to do it. But by doing it, things are happening that are very, very positive. And I happen to believe in the exceptions, the life of the mother, rape, incest, like Ronald Reagan believed in the exceptions. But I happen to believe that. I think it's frankly important to do that. But a lot of people are, against that. A relatively small number. But the way I look, I think it's very important to say this. I consider the other side to be radical because the other side under Roe v. Wade and other things, the other side, they're radical because they will. Remember the debate with Hillary Clinton? They said, rip the baby out of the womb at the end of the 9th month. They will kill the baby in the 9th month. If you
I
look
guess
at that
Dominique
crazy
left and
governor of
disliked my
Virginia
video.
from the
Thank
former
you.
governor, where he said, no, the baby will be born, and then we'll decide essentially whether or not to execute
But
the
Mr.
baby.
President, can we talk about what you would do if
No,
you
but these are the
if
radical
you are
people.
reelected?
It's not the pro-life people that are radical.
But if you are
It's these
reelected and you're back in the Oval Office and you get legislation to your desk, would you sign a federal abortion ban into law?
What I'll do is negotiate so that people are happy. But the fact that we were able, I'm so proud of it. We put 3 great justices on the Supreme Court. We have almost 300 federal judges on the Supreme Court.
So just to be clear, Mr. President, you would sign a federal abortion ban into law.
I said this. I want to do what's right. And we're looking, and we want to do what's right for everybody.
But what's right?
But now, for the first time, the people that are pro-life have negotiating capability, because you didn't have it before. They could kill the baby in the 9th month or after the baby was born. Now they won't be able to do that.
But I think this is a really important question for you to answer, because this is something every Republican, including those who are running against you for the nomination, are being asked about is, would you sign a federal abortion ban into law?
And many of them are going to give you the same answer as I am. First of all, I am honored to have done what I did. And a lot of people said in 150 years, he's now the most consequential president because he saved so many lives. And I'm honored to have done it. And because of what I've done, we now have a great negotiating ability. That's what I do in life. I negotiate. We have a great negotiating ability, and I think we're going to be able to get something done.
What do you mean negotiating ability? Because the question that Republicans have, and some of your allies on Capitol Hill said they want to introduce legislation when it comes to banning abortion. If they send it to your desk, would you sign it?
Some people are at 6 weeks. Some people are at 3 weeks,
Where's
2
President
weeks.
Trump?
President Trump is going to make a determination what he thinks is great for the country and what's fair for the country. But the fact that I was able to terminate Roe v. Wade after 50 years of trying, they worked for 50 years. I've never seen anything like it. They worked, and I was so honored to have done it. We are in a very good negotiating position right now, only because of what I was able to do. And remember this, again, you talk about radicalism. People that will kill a baby in the 9th month or the 8th month or the 7th month or after the baby is born, they're the radicals, not the pro-life.
I just want to give you one more chance, though, because you did not answer whether or not you'd sign a federal abortion ban or how many weeks into pregnancy you believe abortion should be banned.
Yeah, but I've given you the answer probably 4 times already.
Which one
I'm
is it,
looking.
though?
I'm
You have an
looking at
answer?
a solution that's going to work. Very complex issue for the country. You have people on both sides of an issue, but we are now in a very strong position. Pro-life people are in a strong position to make a deal that's going to be good and going to be satisfactory for them. If you weren't able to get rid of, you wouldn't even be having a discussion. If you weren't able to get rid of Roe v. Wade, which put pro-life in a dead position, a horrible position. They could kill the baby at any time they wanted to, but we did something that nobody thought was doable. And other Republican presidents, and others, by the way, they wanted to get it out. They also wanted to bring it back to the states, but bringing it back to the states is a less important issue
But that's why
than
it's
the
the
issue
question
that we
about a
just talked
federal
about.
abortion ban. You did not say yes or no to
It
that. You did
depends
not say how many
it depends
weeks.
what the deal is. Lindsey Graham's
did not
a
say
good
how many
man. He's
weeks.
got an idea, and a lot of other people have an idea. And I look at all the
And a
different
lot of people will
ideas,
be
and I'll
curious
make
what your
the right
idea is on
decision.
that. President Trump, we've got more questions to come for you tonight. We'll
make
be
the right
right back
decision for the
in just a moment.
Look at all them white people. All right, y'all. So that was the first start. That was the first part. What y'all feel about that? How we feeling about what he said? Let's get the conversation rolling. No, and Florida, it's a town hall. It's the first town hall for the Republicans in this election cycle. But you know how CNN likes to do things. They like to push back on Trump whenever they get a shot at it. This is how I'm looking at it.
Free my people. No. Free my people. Free my people. No.
Reed Jones said they will be voting for Trump in droves. Of course they will. Of course they will. What? Like I said, Trump is a clown just like the rest of them. Slayer side, they say the other side, but they're all on the same side. Two wings of the same bird. And the bird is called white supremacy. That third comment was dog yell, never mind the whistle. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dominique, you're a whole minute behind. You see that button that says live? Click it. You'll be ahead. Maxwell Jenkins, hello. He's saying about what I expected. Some white supremacists, a CPL dog whistle, but he'll close the borders. Yes, close the borders. Missy Miss sounds combative. Of course she does. Because CNN don't like Trump. I got to get that coon. But we're gonna let it ride. The bird is a picture, like Spotty Thief said. Yes.
This fat son of a bitch is gonna drown us all out.
Just gotta calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat. I'm gonna.
He's fat. Boy, Trump been eating the McDonald's burgers, hasn't he? God, dog. DSB, hello. Was that a white woman that just kissed a black man over surfing? What is going on? What is this? Streaming where? HBO Max? All right. Damn, they just give an innocent Cooper any type of job. All right, we're about to be back. We're about to be back. God, dog, look at that picture. HBO bought a lot. Hey, HBO bought a lot of time, right? I know they own CNN now, but I'm just saying. God damn. God, dog. Come on, Blacklight.
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
All right, we back.
Welcome back to CNN's Republican Presidential Town Hall with former President Donald Trump. President Trump, I'd like you to meet Jennifer Simmons. She is a stay-at-home mom and former town selectman.
Look at all these white people.
She's a Republican and she voted for you in 2020. Jennifer, what's your question tonight?
Good evening, Mr. President. Title 42 is expected to expire tomorrow. Our southern border and now our northern border are experiencing record migration. We learned on May 2nd that the Biden administration plans on deploying 1,500 troops to the southern border. Do you agree with deploying troops to the border, and how will a Trump administration slow down the rate of migrants coming across all our borders?
Sure. A very fair question, especially since tomorrow is going to be a day of infamy. You're going to have tens of thousands of people pouring into our country. Even the judge, the judge overruled them when they wanted to terminate it early. And he said, that you better extend this thing. The judge in Texas said, I hope you're going to extend this, but this is my policy that they're letting terminate because they lost in court. They wanted to go earlier. You're going to have millions of people pouring into our country right now at a level that nobody's ever seen before. These people are sick. Anybody that wants this to happen to our country, they're destroying our country, and this should not be allowed to happen. How they're not going to do a version of Title 42 or my Title 42, which was tough. If people are sick and have infectious diseases and lots of other problems, we don't want them being into our country. We have enough problems right now. We have problems like we've never had in the history of our country.
But Mr. President,
our country is being destroyed.
The reason it's ending is because the health policy, the COVID era pandemic emergency is coming to an end. That's what Title 42 was. You put it in place because of COVID.
True, but
when it comes to big questions about what your immigration policy would look like if you are reelected, some of your Republican rivals have criticized you for not fulfilling the promises that you made on the campaign trail, like finishing the border wall. So how do voters know that you would get those done if you're reelected?
I did finish the wall. I built a wall. I
You
built
didn't finish the
hundreds of
wall.
miles of wall, and I finished it. And then I said, we have to build some more because there are areas like water going through a dam. There are some areas where a lot of people are coming. You close up one and they come into another. And we started another 100 miles of wall. In fact, I said to my people, if we start this and don't finish it, and then we had a rigged election, I'm sorry to say it.
Oh,
The
God.
election was not rigged,
okay,
Mr.
good. I
President.
know.
You
I'm-
can't
I'm
keep
glad
saying
you
that.
said
all
God.
day long.
And so
You cannot
then
do
they
this,
took over
man.
and they decided not to finish it. We're taking in 3 weeks. I built hundreds of miles of wall. If we
Dude,
didn't
stop
have it, it would
saying
be
that.
hard to believe it could be any worse. They're just letting people flow into our country. Look, a country has to have borders. There's never been anything like is happening to our country
You
right
built
now.
about 52 miles of new wall when you were in office,
See this?
Mr. President. It wasn't the complete wall. One other thing that with
No, but I have to
immigration,
respond to that.
with your immigration, it was only about
Okay,
52
can I
miles of
respond?
new wall.
This is
Uh-oh.
what she does.
She's about to go left.
I built hundreds of miles. Some of the wall was up there and it would be laying on the ground, rusted, rotten steel, rusted, rotten wood, a little. And what the radical left crazy Democrats did, if there's a piece of wood laying down, they consider that a wall. I built 30-foot walls that go down 7 feet into the ground. If there was a little piece of wood sitting in the ground, they said, oh, he's not building a wall. We already had a wall. Because this is the game. They're a party of disinformation.
It's not a
They-
game, Mr. President. It's about 52 miles of new wall. One other
Where
immigration
Caitlin
policy you
been?
had
I built
when you were
new
in
wall.
office.
Where
I built
Caitlin been
new
talking about
wall.
this ain't a
52 miles,
game?
Hundreds of
according to
miles.
CBP, Mr.
What I did is I
President.
replaced other wall that was laying down, that was up
about to get
and
mad.
rotting in the ground for 30 years. Some of it was steel that you couldn't
Mr.
even
President,
see.
it was only about 52 miles of new wall. But moving on, another immigration policy you had was the zero tolerance immigration policy that separated families at the border. If you are reelected, are you ruling out instituting that?
Well, when you have that policy, people don't come.
You're right. I can't.
If a family hears that they're going to be separated, they love their family. They don't come. So I know it sounds harsh, but if you remember they said I was building prisons for children. It turned out that it was Obama that was building
But
the
would you
prisons for the children.
re-implement that if you're reelected? Is
Well,
that what you're
here's
saying?
we have to save our country. All right. We
So it
can't
sounds
afford.
like that's a yes.
No. When you say to a family that if you come, we're going to break you up, they don't come. And we can't afford to have any more. Look at New York City. Look what's happening. They're living in Central Park in New York City. The city is being swamped. Los Angeles is being swamped. Iowa is being swamped. Our whole country is being destroyed. Millions of people are coming into our country. And you know what the number is going to be, in my opinion, by the end of the year? Not the 4 million that you hear and the 3 million. I think it's going to be 15 million people. And in these people, they have no idea where they come from. They come from 129 different countries so far. 120,
Mr.
not just the
President,
4 that we talked
Just to
about.
put a button on that, it sounds like what you're saying is that you're not ruling out re-implementing that immigration policy. I want to get to another voter. Caitlin Boissonneau is a student here at St. Anselm College. She's a Republican. This will be the first election that she has voted in. What's your question for the president, Caitlin?
Hello, President Trump.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
The current administration has made it clear that we should continue to provide military
You're not ready for that
equipment to Ukraine
conversation.
so that they can defend themselves. Do you support this decision? And how would you deal with the increasing threat posed by Vladimir Putin?
First of all, thank you very much. It's really nice. And it's an important question, so important, because we're giving away so much equipment. We don't have ammunition for ourselves right now. We don't have ammunition for ourselves. We're giving away so much. But here's the thing. I have to say it to start off. No longer matters. If I were president, this would have never happened. And even the Democrats admit that. Putin knew it would have never happened. And his pipeline would have never happened. A lot of things would have never happened. But this
Which
would never
Democrats
happen.
say that,
And
Mr.
all those
President?
dead people, both Russian and Ukrainian, they wouldn't be dead today. And all those cities that are blown up and disintegrated right to the ground, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, now, here's the problem. We've given so far $171 billion. They've given, meaning European Union, which is approximately the same size altogether as our economy. They've given about 20. So we're at 170, let's say, and they're at 20. You don't have to know too much about history to realize, or geography, to realize that they're a little bit more affected than we are, okay? So they've got to put up a lot more money because they're taking advantage of us like every other country did. That's why I ended NAFTA and replaced it with the USMCA, Mexico,
But on
Canada.
this issue, Mr. President, I should know, I don't know any Democrats who have said they don't believe Putin would have invaded if you were president. But her question is, would you continue to give Ukraine money and weapons if you're elected? What's the answer?
I have a very good relationship with President Zelensky because, as you know, he backed me up with the phony impeachment hoax #1 when he said the president didn't do anything wrong. So
That
I
was when you
happen to
asked him
like.
for an
So I
investigation in
happen to
exchange
like.
for
Yeah, that's right.
weapons.
And I was totally exonerated, by the way. Just a waste of time and money.
You were impeached over that. You were impeached over that. But let's stay on topic here, Mr. President, because the question is, would you give Ukraine weapons
I was
and funding?
impeached by a crazy woman named Nancy
But the
Pelosi.
question here is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding if you were
I
elected?
would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in 1 day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in 1 day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths.
Oh,
and within
shit.
24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over.
He's going to be like
Do
this.
you want Ukraine to
Now
win
get
this
out.
war?
Two of you are fucking up a nice
In
day.
terms of winning and losing, I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country. Now,
I wonder if Victor Bout has it.
You said you don't
I
think
think Bout has it.
you have
Mr.
to get
President, can I
Europe.
just follow up on that because that's a really important
Excuse me,
statement
let me
that
just
you just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
Don't do that. Don't
I want
answer that question.
Everybody to stop dying. They're
Ooh.
dying. Russians and
Good
Ukrainians.
answer.
I want them to
Good
stop
answer.
dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
But you won't say that you want Ukraine to win.
You
said
know what
when
I'll
you were
say?
in-
I'll
when you
say
were in
this.
office-
I want Europe to put up more money because they're in for 20 billion. We're in for 170, and they should be.
Answer about who
And
should
they
win
should
the war.
equalize. They have plenty of money. They should equalize. I got with NATO.
But I'm
When I
asking you
sat
about
down, I got
Ukraine
them
right
to
now,
put up
Mr.
hundreds
Yo.
of billions of dollars that they weren't paying under Obama and Bush and all of these other presidents. That's why they're able to help them fight the war because of the money I got. But I
Let's
want
talk about
Europe.
what's happening in
Excuse
Ukraine,
me.
Mr.
I want
President.
Europe to put up more money because they're laughing at us. They think we're a bunch of jerks. We're spending $170 billion for faraway land, and they're right next door to that land, and they're in for 20. I don't think so.
When it comes to what's happening there, when you were in office, you said that you respected President Putin. Do
Yeah, I
you
do.
still respect him today?
He made a tremendous mistake. He's a smart guy, you know. I remember I said he was smart, she was smart. They
What
said
was his
he
mistake?
said President Xi of China, right, is smart. Okay, 1.5 billion people. He's the ruler of 1.5 billion people. I said, yeah, he's a smart guy. How dare he say he's smart? Of course he's smart. They want you to say he's a stupid person. Okay, he's not a stupid person. He's very smart. He's very cunning. And Putin made a bad mistake, in my opinion.
What was his
mistake? His mistake was going in. He would have never gone in if I was president. We used to talk about it there.
Do you believe that he is a war criminal?
What?
Do you believe that Putin is a war criminal? He's responsible for the deaths of thousands
Well,
of
I think
Ukrainian
this.
men
I
and
think
women
it's
and
something that
children.
should not be discussed now. It should be discussed later. Because right now we have to get a war. If you say he's a war criminal, it's going to be a lot tougher to make a deal to get this thing stopped. Because if he's going to be a war criminal, where people are going to go and grab him and execute him, he's going to fight a lot harder than he's fighting, you know, under the other circumstance. That's something to be discussed at a later date.
But isn't it
Right now,
important
we
to
want
call
to
it
get
what
that
it
war
is?
settled. And I'm not talking about the money either. I'm talking about all the lives.
And
that
Florida, they're not ready
the
for that
number of people
conversation.
being killed in that war is far
Reem,
greater
hello,
than
you
you're
seem
hearing.
new.
When
That's
they
what people
blow
want to
up the
believe in our
city
reality.
And those buildings come pouring down, and then they say 2 people were injured. No, hundreds and thousands of people are being killed, and we have to get that war settled.
We have more with former President Trump. Right after this, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with questions from voters right after that.
Nice drone shot. By the way, watch when this whole town hall's over. Trump gonna shake a hand and be like,
One more thing. Bye-bye, bitch.
all right, so that was part 2. What y'all got on that? Black light. I can't put that on the screen, but hey, again, they're not ready for that conversation. They're not ready. Black Light, you and I are gonna have to. We might have to do a Rumble exclusive show and really break this down. They are so not ready for these conversations, blood. Oh my God. If they really sat down and really dived in this research, they would realize so much. This is why I laugh at the people that are on Twitter right now talking about black people shouldn't get reparations. Black American descendants of child slavery should not get reparations. I love it. Y'all ignore history when it does not fit your narrative. The amount of books that have been published saying how illegal immigration will doom a country, y'all will not acknowledge that. You see what's happening in Sweden right now. The migrants are taking over. Then when they say, screw it, we're going to go back to them Viking days, then y'all going to get upset. Y'all see what happens in South Africa all the time. You got family, you guys have articles right now being printed saying how bad Nigerians are and what they do to economies when they get on shores, and people are ignoring it until 2024. Here's an exclusive, family. I know y'all didn't hear about this. A Jamaican was killed in Mexico. Oh, yes, I plan to do that story. That's right. They got killed trying to cross through Mexico. They don't know who did it. You're going to start hearing more of that very soon. Oh, of course. Unbreaded Podcast. Hello, you seem new. Quatman, hello. Oh, yeah. Joe Calista, dude, your base is hell. We keep it real over here. We don't sugarcoat shit. Our lives are on the line right now. And our children's lives are on the line right now.
Continue with the moment of truth in just a moment, but first, a word from the official sponsor of Black Empowerment, Power Tools. There's no telling when something's going to come up, so make sure you carry your power tools at all times. You never know when you're going to need to bring the hammer down, or when you'll have some trash that needs to be blown away, or some obstacle that requires cutting down. Don't get caught empty-handed. Keep your hammer close by. Keep that leaf blower at the ready, and always carry your steel. Power Tools, because no matter what your day job or side hustle may be, there's no excuse for not being ready to put in some work.
He's back.
Investigations that you're facing.
Now they're
At
standing.
the top, but one of those is the special counsel's investigation into classified documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago. Why did you take those documents with you when you left the White House?
Because they're mine, damn
You
it.
have the Presidential Records Act. You have the Presidential Records Act. I was there and I took what I took, and it gets declassified. Biden, on the other hand, he has 1,850 boxes. He had boxes sent to Chinatown, where they don't speak even English in that Chinatown we're talking about.
Can I got to stop you right there
about him, they talk about us. Just so you understand, I had every right to do it. I didn't make a secret of it. You know, the boxes were stationed outside of the White House. People were taking pictures of the GSA and the various people.
I got to stop you right there,
that
though,
were
because the
moving.
Presidential Records Act, which is not well known to a lot of people, I read it. It does not say that you can take documents with you. It says actually that they are the property of the federal
you talk,
government.
you
when
negotiate, you make a deal. It's not criminal, by the way.
does not-
It's
it does
the
not say that you
Presidential
can
Records Act is
negotiate.
not criminal. And just
It
so
does
you
not
know,
say you can negotiate to
just
take
so
the
you-
documents with you.
can I tell you? Just so you understand, the Presidential Records Act is not criminal. I took the documents. I'm allowed to. You know who else took them? Obama took them. Nixon took them.
Obama did
Reagan
not take
took them.
documents.
Yes, he did.
The difference.
Yes,
the
he
difference here
did.
that I'd like
Take
to
a look.
note
Don't tell
The
that lie,
National
lady.
Archive says that President Obama
Even
did
Jimmy
not
Carter,
take
even Mike
documents.
Pence had some documents, and he's a
You
very
referenced
honorable
Pence,
He's
guy.
you
snitching.
referenced
But you know who
Biden.
took him more than anybody is Joe Biden. He has 1,800 boxes.
He's
and
That's
nobody knows
snitching.
where
And
they
you
are.
know that.
1,800, and nobody talks about him.
Mr. President,
And they
that's not accurate.
put a rough guy on us, and they. In the
I think it's
meantime, they have
important, Mr.
nobody.
President, to actually set the record straight here. They took documents, including President or Vice President Pence. When they realized they had documents, they turned them back over. The difference is that you waited to turn yours over, and it was a
Excuse
year and
me.
a half effort that included a subpoena with those documents. One question about
It
what happened
included a
when you had
raid
those
on
documents.
my house. That's what it included.
But
They
you had
didn't raid.
you'd gotten a
They didn't
subpoena,
raid
and they had not
Biden's
been
house.
turned over yet.
They didn't raid Biden's house. You know what he? And they're phenomenal. I have Secret Service. He didn't have Secret Service. The other thing, the vice president cannot declassify. He didn't have the right to declassify. He has documents from when he was a senator, and even Democrat senators say, I can't believe it. No, I went by the Presidential Records Act,
That's not
and
what
we
the
were
Presidential
negotiating
Records
with
Act
NARA.
says. That's not what it says.
So what does it
NARA
say,
had a
lady?
red
Come on.
flag, a thing called the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights, because they considered them
Mr.
dangerous
President, that's not what it
documents.
says,
Those are
and
the
I
people
should
we're
know.
dealing
And
with.
I should note that there is a special counsel investigating your document situation, also President Biden's document situation. When it comes to your documents, did you ever show those classified documents to anyone?
Not really. I would have the right to. By the way, they were
What do you mean, not
declassified after.
really?
Not that I can think of. Let me just tell you, I have the absolute right to do whatever I want with them. I have the right. I was negotiating with NARA. Do you know what NARA is?
The National Archives.
Extremely
negotiate
left group
with
of
them.
people. Extremely left. And I was negotiating with
They're
them.
not
All of a
left, they're
sudden, they
bipartisan.
raided my house. They didn't raid the house of Joe Biden. They didn't raid Obama.
But Joe Biden didn't ignore a subpoena to get those documents back like
Joe
you
Biden
did. And so
took
that's the question.
1,850
He
boxes.
about to
That's the
lose
question
it,
that
blood.
investigators have, I think, is why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return
Are you
them.
ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, what's
You
the
mind?
answer?
Uh-oh.
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to
That's
answer.
why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person.
There it is. He said it. There it is.
Why
Very
you
simple.
held on to the documents?
I was negotiating, and we were talking to NARA, that's Washington, to bring whatever they want. They can have whatever they want. When we left Washington, we had the boxes lined up on the sidewalk outside for everybody. People are taking pictures of them. Everybody knew we were taking those boxes. And the GSA, government service, the GSA was the one taking them. They brought them down to Mar-a-Lago. We were negotiating with NARA. All of a sudden, they raid our house. When Biden had his documents, he won't give back the 1,850 boxes. And you're going to find some real gems in there.
But it was
So
Biden
you
who
can't have
alerted
all
them
Be
that he
nice.
had the
Let's be
documents.
nice.
The
We
National
don't have-
Archives reached out to you to get your documents back. Why did you not turn them over when you got a subpoena
Because we were
asking for you to turn
negotiating
them
with
over?
them. We were negotiating with them as per the Presidential Records Act. We were negotiating with NARA.
That's not what
Very
the
nice
Presidential
people,
Records Act says. I've
but they
seen
got to
it.
love our Constitution a little bit more, and they shouldn't red flag it, by the
But
way.
ma'am, they admitted
Very
that they were
people. We
negotiating with him.
negotiating with NARA. And that's what the Presidential Records Act says, because Richard Nixon, surprisingly, had problems. And he had a lot of problems dealing with NARA. And they ended up passing
that's why
legislation
they
called the
created the
Presidential
PRA.
Records Act, just for this kind of a thing. We were
My
dealing
last
with them.
question
We were
on this
talking. Excuse me. Wait a minute.
subject, Mr.
Wait.
President.
We were talking to them. We would have done it, but all of a sudden they raided the house. Now, why hasn't the FBI raided Biden?
But I just explained to
Why-
you why.
no.
It's because he's the one, they alerted the
1,850
government that they
okay.
had those documents and had them come and get
But
the
they knew
documents.
Trump had the
Why-
documents
they
My
didn't
too.
question for you, though, when it comes to documents, do you still have any classified documents
Why
in
do
your
you care?
possession?
Are you ready?
Do you?
No, I don't have anything. I have no classified documents. And by the way, they become automatically declassified when I took them. But
No, you
why?
have to declassify
Let me ask
them.
you a question. Why is it that Biden had 9 boxes in Chinatown? And he gets a lot of money from China. Why is that? And
There
why,
is no
why
evidence of
aren't
that, Mr.
people?
President.
Why
You cannot say
aren't
that. There is
people
no
bringing that
evidence
up?
of that, Mr.
And why don't
President.
they put this
What
guy
you're
Jack
referring
Smith
to
and his
is an
group of?
office that he had.
And folks,
charge of that.
Them white people lost their mind.
There's no evidence of what you just said there. What you're referring to there is an office that he had after
at
leaving
the
the
University
vice
of Pennsylvania.
presidency.
Wrong.
He had a temporary office. But I want to ask you about another investigation
You're so
that you're
wrong.
facing.
You don't know the subject.
I do know the
He
subject,
had
and I
one
do
at
know the
University of
facts, Mr.
Pennsylvania,
President.
but he also had
I want to
9
move on to
boxes
another
in
investigation
Chinatown.
that you're facing, which is the one that's
She doesn't
happening
understand.
in
Oh,
Georgia,
this is the
where they
greatest
are
thing. I'm glad I
investigating
streamed
your
this.
efforts to overturn the election results in the state of
I
Georgia.
did
At the
nothing wrong. It was
center
a
of that,
perfect phone call.
let me finish my question. At the center of that is that call that you had with the Secretary of
Perfect
State,
call.
Brad Raffensperger.
Yeah, sure.
Given the fact that there are indictments expected to come in that case this summer,
Whew.
is that a call you would make again today?
Yeah, I called questioning the election. I thought it was a rigged election. I thought it had
He's
a lot
still
of problems.
saying it.
I had I guess he's Secretary of State. I called. Listen to this. There are like 7 lawyers on the call, many of them from there. We're having a call. We're having a normal call. Nobody said, oh, gee, he shouldn't have said that. Why? If this call was bad, I questioned the election.
You
if
asked
this
him to
call
find
was
you
bad,
votes.
I didn't ask him to find anything. Let me
We've
just tell
heard
you,
the audio
if
tape,
this
Mr.
call
President.
was
There's an
bad,
audio of you asking him to
I
find you
said,
11,000
you owe
something
me
votes.
votes because the election was rigged. That election was rigged. And if this call was bad, why didn't him and his lawyers hang up? How dare you say that? This was a perfect
Well, they were
phone
clearly
call.
concerned enough. They recorded the call, and I should note
They
that
always
This was a
record
call
calls,
that
lady.
was made to question the
You can tell she don't
results
call
of
customer service
election.
never
And
in
we
life.
have- and when we can't make a call to question election results, then this country ought to just forget about it.
you weren't just questioning the
What government agency does not record their phone calls?
no evidence of fraud. There is no rigged election in the state of Georgia. I want to get back to the audience, though, Mr. President, because those are false claims you're making about what happened in Georgia. Jordan Tullenberger is here. He's an undeclared voter from Hollis.
This fat
He voted
son
for
of a
you in
bitch is-
2020. Jordan, what is your question for President Trump tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Thank you very much.
I'm 26. I'm a veteran. I help manage a private aviation company.
Salute to you.
You want a job?
My
I'd love one.
man.
Yeah.
Look at,
Yeah.
My
look at
man.
somebody very good.
I'm not for mandates or government interference in private business, but I've
Right.
seen Republicans going after us like DeSantis after Disney.
Right.
Yo, do
What
you
would
know
you do
that
as
that
president to
that
protect us
Caitlyn
from
is
government
listening to
interference?
Well, I'm
people
the
in
one
her
that
ear and
really
she just
wants to
responded to
protect
him?
you. All of these fake investigations
I ain't gonna
to
lie,
me
I'm getting
are
cooked.
about election interference. They think because I'm leading Biden by 11 points, 7 points, 9 points, I'm leading DeSanctimonious
Damn.
by 40 points or 45
Be
points. I think he
nice.
ought to
Let's
just
be
relax and
nice.
take it easy and think about the future, because right now his future is not looking so good. I will tell you this.
The
We are
sanctimonious.
really putting it to
Jesus.
Biden, but he's putting it to himself because the economy stinks, inflation is horrible, and the border is a disaster. And by the way he got out of Afghanistan was the single most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Mr. President, I have one more question for you here tonight, and I think while we're in front of the voters here in New Hampshire, this is a fundamental question for you. You are running in the 2024 race. If you are the Republican nominee and you are in that 2024 race, will you commit tonight to accepting the results of the 2024 election?
Yeah, if I think it's an honest election, absolutely, I would.
Will you commit to accepting the results of the election regardless of the outcome?
Do you want me to answer it again? If I think it's an honest election, I would be honored to. And right now, we are so far ahead of both Democrat and Republican. And you know what? If I don't win, this country is
Good.
going to be in big
Okay.
trouble. It's so
You're
sad
gone.
to see what's
Fine.
happening.
Bye-bye.
Commitment there on the accepting the results regardless of the outcome.
If it's an honest election, correct, I will.
Okay, so not committing to accepting the 2024 election results, or acknowledging what happened in 2020.
Go ahead.
President Trump, I want to thank you for coming here tonight. This is an important conversation with voters to hear and to have. Thank you to our audience and to our host, St. Anselm College. CNN's coverage continues with Anderson Cooper and Jake Tapper.
That was fun, family. That was fun. That was fun. Yes, it was. The world is still correct. That was fun. And yes, my stream did suck. You're right. Thank you. Go talk to Steven Crowder. I'm sure in between recapping what he did in regards to Trump and knocking old Caitlyn, he'll talk about how he didn't yell at his wife. I'm sure y'all want to hear that. So go over to the Unseasoned podcast. Go over to Steven Crowder and have fun. Have fun. And if you give me your address, I will send you a great spice to help you. It's called garlic salt. That's the only seasoning that y'all are going to need as white people. Unbreaded. You should call it the Grilled Chicken Podcast. But have fun. Enjoy the rest of your night. The Unbreaded Podcast. Unbreaded. So you're down to the white meat. Because we know you don't eat dark meat. That's okay. What y'all think about that, family? Boy, that Trump boy. Woo! Hey, Reem, this is what people do online. They have to announce they're leaving. Okay, you announced that you're leaving. Okay, we're gonna say it like this. Anything matter-based that has to announce they're leaving is called a train, a plane, or a bus. So maybe that's how he identifies, because we're in the age of inclusion and the age of genders. So maybe he identifies as an airplane, a bus, or a train. So we have to be respectful. Please be respectful of his pronouns. Like I said, this stream has something in common with his mom. I don't think the stream swallows though. See, that's the difference. Jesus. All right. But that's all right. I'm sure when he orders his food at takeout places, he announces after he gets the bag that he's leaving. He goes to the doctor's office. We're supposed to be a quiet environment. And after they give him his appointment card, he announces that he's leaving to the entire waiting room. He goes in the library and announces that he's leaving. But my favorite part is when Trump, I like how he said, would you restore Title 42? By the time he's president, we're already going to be screwed. I like how she asked that question. This is what I mean. I really, you know what I think, family, and this is going to be wrong to say, but I think they really want this illegal immigration because they want more variety when they date. And yes, we're talking about white people. And that includes Latinos that identify as white. Yes. Beyonce is going to make $2 billion on her tour, and white people are upset. $2 billion. I'm sure white people will ask her to release your tax records because they cannot believe it. Why would people go see Beyonce on tour? I wonder if she's coming to Atlanta. Let's look. I would like to see if she's coming to Atlanta, because if she's coming to Atlanta, I'm taking the week off because everybody and their mother are going to, oh God, she's going to be here August 12th. August 12th, I'm taking the day off. I'm taking the day off. VIP packages, $4,751. How much? Pure/honey on stage risers, front row experiences. This is. Are you serious? This is how you started it off, Ticketmaster. What we doing? Bad beats to the left, money beats to the right. What? Okay, let's see. What do you get for this? Let's see. Experience the Renaissance World Tour with a front row seat on either Pure Honey Riser, Bad B Side A, or Money B Side B. I wonder how that's gonna. Well, we're in Atlanta, so dudes don't care. Anyway, restaurant and bar for Pure Honey guests with cash bar, beer, wine, and cocktails, 2 drink tokens included, and 1 VIP parking space per order or rideshare voucher. VIP gift item, fast pass to RWT merch, Renaissance World Tour photo op, VIP concierge team. Do you get to meet Beyonce? Let's see. Does it say Alien Superstar Riser? What is this? Looks like the same thing. Local liquor. Oh, wait, number 3. No artist participation. Failed. So you mean I'm paying all that and I don't get a picture with Beyonce? Yeah, no, I'm good. Hey, baby, would you like me to spend $4,800 for you to go see Beyonce VIP? You'll get a picture with her, but you'll be in front row. You could be either a bad bee or a money bee. What you get? You get a cash bar, a private restroom, I think, and a 2-drink token for wine and cocktails. They don't serve food. Yeah, no food. But you get a VIP concierge team. They'll probably give you one of those lanyards. Okay, so she's gonna be down here August 12th. Her ticket started at $173. What? But you see nothing. You're way up top. Way up top, but you're in row 25. So you're in the back. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see where the decent seats are. In the 2s, you pay $475. She's almost sold out. Well, it says verified resale. The resellers have most of the tickets already. Yeah. I'm trying to see what that floor do. Go back. I'm trying to see what that floor do. What the floor seats talking about? $775 for a floor seat. No, floor seat. No, I think they do the pit. That's Club Renaissance. That's $1,528. You'll be standing all night. But maybe she'll touch your hand. Yeah, family. Yeah. Beyonce. Oh, yes, Black Light. White people will say Beyonce made $2 billion. What do you people need reparations for? Guess what? Beyonce still gets a check. Oh, but Quatman, remember when they said that Burna Boy outsold Beyonce in the Netherlands? Do y'all remember this? Oh. Yes, Ricky James. Biden is not going to debate. The Democrat National Convention already said there will be no debates because they know his opponents will destroy him. You got to get them super chats up. Start smoking on that Pearly Pack. I honestly, brother, applaud to y'all for talking about Pearly things. I don't want to talk about that chick no more. We got more pressing issues. I could care less about her. She wants to be Miss Ann. You could be Miss Ann all you want. When it comes time, when she gets investigated by Interpol and they find out she's really a true white supremacist, the content from the people that supported her, that'll be great. I'll do that. But after that, nah, I'm good. Yes, Elon Musk is an African American. What does people need money for? Right. Quadman said that Afrobeats and Bad Bunny folks go only to places with a bunch of Africans and Hispanics. Good idea, Quadman. Let's look that up. Let's see if Bad Bunny's going to be in Atlanta. Let's do that. Let's check that out. I'm trying to go see Drew Hill in July. I'm waiting for them to put tickets on sale. I do want to see that. Here we go. Nope. He's not doing anything. I guess he has no stops in Atlanta. All right, he's already done it. Maybe that's why he's not coming back here. Somebody threw a phone at him. All right. Say less. He was here last year. Say less. Yeah, I want to go, man. I want to go to that. And it's going to be intimate because I think they said it's going to be in College Park. So it might be fire. That is true. But he did have a hell of a match at WWE Backlash. So if you have Peacock, go watch that match. That match was fire. Facts. I feel like that's why I slide the news in for the first hour. I gotta get some of that official growth. Facts. Miriam, hello. By the way, I haven't gotten a Burner Boy for a minute. Let's see if he has done anything lately. What have you done, Daniel, lately? Burner Boy's sister says convincing him to attend Met Gala is her biggest achievement. What? Huh? What? What? Nigga, what is this? This nigga look like, what is this? This man looks like a tie that's not been tied. This man looks like a tie that ain't been tied. Facts. I didn't even know he was there. Lil Uzi Vert can do Japan, huh? All right, say less. Hey, bruh, do your thing. Okay. Burna Boy's outfit at the Met Gala has received praise from both fashion enthusiasts and fans, with many applauding his bold and stylish choice of attire. I didn't even know he was there. Okay. I didn't even know he was there. Let's see. Is he coming to Atlanta? Because I'm sure if he is, Niger Twitter is gonna go nuts. They're gonna ride from Houston all the way over here. Let's see. He'll be in Miami, and then he runs to London. Then he goes to New York City. Portugal, Great Britain. The hell? What do you mean Portugal, Great Britain? Oh, you're going to be with 50 Cent? All right, say less. I'm still trying to figure out Portugal, Great Britain. I don't know what that means, but all right. Nobody talks about him because he's not relevant. Yes, that's right. I said it, Niger Twitter. He's not relevant. Hey, before we go, let's who buying that Sports Illustrated with Angel Reese? I say we buy it just so we can jack up her NIL a little bit more. Let me see. Where's the issue coming out? Let's see. It still shocks me that she's 6'3", but that's all right. Get some. Let's see. Of course, they didn't use a black photographer for her pictures, but all right. When's the issue come out, or is it out already? Let's see. Let's find out. Let's see. When does it come out? Maybe it came out already. Let's see. Okay, I see you. Get off my screen. I like how she's embracing all her flaws. I like that. I guess it does. They're not saying. Maybe it's out already. It could be out already. Yeah, I say we buy it just to drive the price up. Maybe they only do digital now. I don't know. I like how they go white supremacy again. I don't even know who this chick is. But I guess because I don't know who this chick is, but she got 5 articles before we get to Angel. Go ahead, white supremacy. She's still doing the, ain't she like, she's still doing the, shout out to her. Not even gonna go there. All right, say less. All right, there you go. What does NIL mean? It basically is a way for athletes in college to get paid. They basically get money for making appearances or if they sell things. So Angel got endorsements while she was playing. So her NIL is up to about $1.5 million. So when she leaves, she'll have that money in her bank account. Call myself because Angel ain't fat. Facts, and not a man.
This fat son of a bitch is gonna try us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat. I'm gonna.
He's fat. I don't know who that chick is. I'm sure she identifies as white, though. Would you like to find out who this is? Maybe they have the 2022 swim search winner, Maddie Dewey, returns to this SI swimsuit issue as a rookie. 5 beauty products, SI swim beauty products. She loves a natural glowy skin look, but she has to use products. All right. All right. Well, if they have exclusive photos, that means it didn't come out yet. Let's see. Well, you know what? We'll do this. When does SI swimsuit come out? Let's see. So it might have come out already. This spring. So it might be out. Oh, release in May. So it's coming out this month. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? So it's coming out this month. I say we all get it. Single issues for purchase. Here we go. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Okay, so it's coming out this month. So yeah, I say we go buy it. Yeah, you know what? Let's look this up. Share this tab. So they went to Puerto Rico. Okay. I still don't know who this chick is. What do you do? Oh, she did an open casting call. Okay. I still don't know what she do. Okay. All right. I'm not excited. I'm sorry. I'm not excited. She looks like a regular Latina. I'm not excited. You know who she looked like? She looked like the rookie cop in The Shield. Paula Garces. That's who she looks like. I'm not excited. I'm really not excited. Now, if you had Angela Bassett, I'm running out to go get this right now. I want to see what that 60-year-old do. I want to see what she doing. I'm sorry, Courtney B. Vance. I'm just saying, your wife is beautiful. Just saying. Don't get mad. Don't swing on me if I ever meet you and you heard this. But yes, yeah, so let's go see what her regiment is. I want to see what her beauty products are. Let's see. And I have women in here, so I want to know if y'all know what this stuff is. Let's see. We're gonna keep going. Oh, here we go. She's a CEO and co-founder of metrics-free social media app Herd. Really? That's impressive. That is quite impressive, actually. I'm impressed. She started her own social media app. She has 18.2 thousand followers. A space to share and connect without comparison. Okay, do your thing. She might be a billionaire before too long. Let's see. Here we go. Dr. Jart plus cryo rubber mask with moisturizing hyaluronic acid. $45. Is that $45 or is that $15? I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if it's $45 or $15. It is $15. Okay. $15. The Inky List. Why did they write it in this font? The Inky List hyaluronic acid serum, $10. Super hydrating and sets a good base for products that follow. Sunday Riley CEO 15% vitamin C brightening serum. Yeah, she's ready to meet someone and collect alimony after 5 years. Yes. And that's after getting the baby. Milk makeup, cream blush, and lip color, $24. And last but not least, Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, $22. Okay. I clearly love a fluffy brow, she explains. This is my go-to and keeps them up all day without looking like you have Elmer's glue in your eyebrows. All right. Do your thing. Let's see what Angels pre-game moves are. Why are you putting this chick? Never mind. I have to take a shower before the game, then I have to do my hair and edges. All that has to be done with music on, she says. I have to have music on even when I get to the gym. I have my headphones on and I'm like zoned out. I'm in the mode. All right. Reese adds that her favorite edge control gel to use while getting ready is Lock In and teases that she will hopefully be dropping her own line of products soon. Do your thing. She also notes that her hair, lashes, and nails are always done while on the court. It's important to her to show off her strong athletic side as well as her more feminine side because the two are not mutually exclusive. The black feminists are going to come for her life. I want people to know that you can be girly off the court and still have swag and just be who you are, she says. I embrace my body and who I am. Every mark on my body, I am who I am. But on the court, I can still ball and just play hard. You can do both. That's it. So she has to shower before the game. Say less. I like how they had to go ask her about her white coach's pre-game bowl game day outfits. I like that. All right, say less. Say less. Miriam said, no, I'm good on that. I'm an all-natural woman. Cleans my face, soap and water, and moisturize. That's it. Say less. You know they're very oily people. You know this. You know this. Trump is a hilarious dude, is he not? I ain't gonna lie, folk. You know what? Do they have? Let me see these models. Let's compare these up. Wait, they don't have 2023. So these are the only three. It can't be. Let's see. 2023 SI swimsuit models. Hey, you know they ain't got no. I can't say the word. I can't say the word. The Transformers. They don't have none of those this year, which is why it probably went under the radar. So they're not going to tell you what models they have. What is this? That's kind of weird. So it's only 3 this year. So Padma, Angel, and that other chick. Oh, here we go. Olivia Dunn. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, she's the gymnast from LSU. That's right. That's right. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Let me see it. Let me see the old chick. Is this a video? Never mind. I'm not impressed. Okay, she. All right. Sumner Redstone had fun for years with this. Oh, she's actually showing her scars. Actually, I'm actually shocked. She usually hides them. All right, do your thing. Do your thing. All right, do your thing. Thank you, M. Flournoy. Yeah, these chicks, I'm not impressed. I'm just saying, I'm not impressed. Shout out to Angel though. Get your coins, man. Get your coins. All right. I guess I ain't got nothing else to talk about. We did the main event. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. Unless y'all want me to roast some females coming at Kayla Pratt. Or maybe I save that for an upload. You know what? I'm going to save that for an upload. I want to have fun with that. I want to do it. I want to do it as a structured video. Be on the lookout for that. That might be up Friday. But anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for coming in and listening to me. Thank you to Blacklight for sniping old boy. And yeah, to Grilled Chicken Podcast. I mean, I'm glad you were here. Cool. See you later. Do your thing. So y'all take care, stay safe, and y'all know what to do when the agitators of peace come to mess up your existence.